Did you know that there is a code of conduct for police-citizens relation in Jamaica? Yes, there is. And if you did not know, you can go ahead and Google that code of conduct for between police-citizens relations in order to file an effective claim form and to successfully prosecute a claim for unlawful action by any constable or anyone against you whatsoever, whether it be constable or just an ordinary person. One of the key things you're going to need are facts / evidence. You will need a set of facts which will support your claim, and those facts are gathered from the scene of the alleged crime. Yes, a traffic infraction is a crime. If you are no better in the eyes of the law than a person who take a gun and shoot you, I swear. Have you ever seen how people are dealt with in a traffic court? So, at the scene of the crime, you are going to have to gather as much evidence as you can. In so doing, it is very important that the minute a constable stops you, you must stop. I repeat, must stop. Stop. You do not know why a constable stopped you, and therefore you must stop to find out. If you don't stop, it is considered to be an offense. And a constable, the bad ones, can always make up if they didn't truly have lawful justification. Some lie, something that will make sense to say that is why they were stopping you. And they will therefore have justification for stopping you at that point, and you will have no standings. Guilty, guilty, guilty. So at the scene of the alleged crime, you must stop. And when you do stop, you must turn your vehicle off to prevent a constable from finding grounds to say that you're using an electronic device or your phone while driving a vehicle or operating the vehicle. When you turn the vehicle off, the engine is shut down, the vehicle is not being driven, and the vehicle is not operational. You can't operate a vehicle if the vehicle is not on. Now, for the purpose of the Road Traffic Act, that is so to speak. So, the minute the vehicle is off, you take your phone out, and the constable will normally ask, documents and driver's license. Your next response must be something like this: what is the reason for this stop, officer? In a very respectful tone, like you have always heard me when I ask. The constables, as normal, will say something like this: conducting a people vehicle safety check, sir. Or they might say, conducting a VCP, sir. Yes? Any of those two things are things that they like to say and use as reason for the stop. But for those of us who understand what the word reason means, we would understand that reason means justification. What is your justification? In other words, what is your factual and your lawful justification for the stop? When constable say to you that this is a VCP or this is a people vehicle safety check or any of those type of reasons, that is not a reason for a stop. They are telling you what operation they're carrying out. The operation you're carrying out is not the reason, cannot be the lawful justification for your stop, because an operation in and of itself must be so for some reason under law to apprehend somebody who you suspect to have committed a crime, or you have in the carrying out of the operation, the officer would have formulated that suspicion, or they got some report in the past about somebody who have committed or alleged to have committed a crime or such an offense, and then that is the reason they have this offense, this operation being conducted. So gathering evidence is critical, and the first words that comes from the mouth of the constable at that moment is very important for you, because that will set the tone for everything that comes forward. And it is very important that you have all of this on record. Otherwise, in court, it will come down to your word against the constable's word. And believe me, 9 times out of 10, the constable's word will prevail. A constable is obligated by way of policies and these code of conducts, which are also policy documents that governs police-citizen relations. These code of conducts mandate that a constable must tell you, once you ask, the reason for any detention, any stop, any questioning, any arrest. They are mandated to tell you same. So don't be afraid to ask. And one of the things I will say to you is that you are to insist, because you will not be able to mount a successful claim and to create a proper claim form if you lack sufficient evidence for the reason. The first set of things out of the constable mouth, what is the reason for this stop, is important, because without that you will not be able to mount a successful claim using a claim form to say the constable did not have reasonable or probable cause to stop you in the first place. As per the Police Citizens Code of Conduct / Relations, in that document, every constable should know that a citizen can ask them for their ID, and once they ask to see their ID, the constable must produce that ID to said citizen. A constable, if asked, must produce their name. Now, it is important, viewers and subscribers, that when you, for the preparation of an effective claim form, that you ask at the scene of the alleged crime the name of the constable, their badge number, the station that they are assigned to. All of those details will be necessary for you to effectively mount a claim for false imprisonment, malicious prosecution, for unlawful detention, unlawful stop and search. You go on and on and on and on and on. Yes? So you will need to ask the constable to see their ID, and the ID, as per the police procedures, is to be visible. So that normally you see constables have the IDs pinned to their clothing. Ask them to see their ID, capture the image of their ID. It is public property. It is there for the public to see. Once you see that, you will have pertinent information for you to be able to successfully write your claim form. Now, be careful. Constables are trained, as far as I know, and they're trained to use deception to get you into consenting to something. Now, they will ask, may I see your documents? Sir, can you give me your documents? Sir, do you have your driver's license on you? When they ask sort of questions like that, they're asking because once you say, yes, you may, you are the one who is consenting to them getting your document. And therefore, once you consent to any arbitrary request by a constable, the constable is therefore going to be justified in said action. So, at the scene of the alleged crime, it is pertinent, it is important, it is critical that you collect all the bits of information you can get from the constable or constables that are there. It is very critical. Just like the police is seeking admissions and confessions from you, you must be actively seeking admissions and confessions from said constable. And the constable is duty bound to answer your questions. You, on the other hand, is under no obligation to answer any questions that are posed to you. None, none, none. There is no law, common law or written law that states that any citizen must answer any question posed by the police. None. In closing, so you can ask a question like this to get information for your claim form. Officer, you detained me for the only reason to check my documents to see if I can drive. Did you detain me today for the only reason to check to see if I have registrations? No other reason, officer? And the constable will normally say, yes, sir. Because, again, constables believe that they have legal justification to just randomly stop someone, take away their freedom of movement, to check documents, to see if they, to then be able to charge them with an offense if said documents are expired. No law, no go, sir. None.